Alright, are we on? Did you unmute it?
Yes, I'm on.
Alright guys, welcome to the live stream of the third day of the Auckland Powerlifting Championships. Today, well right now, we're going to be having the heavyweight men, 105, 120 and 120 plus.
Do you want to do the announcing?
Can I reach it?
We've got him.
Welcome everybody, we're about to commence the heavyweight men's session, 105, 120 and 120 plus. Alright, bar is loaded for Hamish Smith, 185 kilos.
And a lovely deep opening squat for Hamish Smith of the 105 kg open class.
Are there any residual protein bars lying around?
I'd say there will be. There's protein sachets in the trophy sport bag.
Bar is loaded for Jason Blakelock. .200 kgs on the bar. Now we have quite the exciting afternoon for all our viewers. Some big battles in the 105s coming up. And some big lifts. Not sure what's going on there. Nice and deep, but very little pop out of the hole. Hopefully nothing too serious. Up next we have Sean King, often confused with King Sean from North Shore Barbell, opening with 200. Now this man can grind, so watch out. I would say going for probably one of the better grinders of this group. Nice and easy for Sean. What do the refs think? 3 whites. He's on the board. First lift for Patasi, 205 kilograms, ripping the Auckland University Strength Society. Nice looking squat there, textbook form. Up next we have Mitch Binney, also known as Binney, repping GS and Noel Leeming retail stores. Let's go, Binney! This is Binney's first official competition. Took him a minute to get the start command because he didn't have locked knees. Reasonably easy squat, but what do the refs think? 3 whites for Binney with his opener. Here we have Glenn Borum, also repping GS with a 215 kg open squat. Fun fact about Glenn, actually lives on the North Shore.
Travels for the better gym.
I just had someone in earshot say he travels to the better gym. While we can contest that statement, that was a brilliant squat. Here I have guest commentator and all-round nice guy, Kidrick Kwan. What's up, Kidrick?
Nothing much. Just finished. No, we're all good. Thank you.
Sorry, being distracted by people offering to help.
Nothing much. Just finished reffing a really stacked 72 class. Really wonderful to watch. Hoping for the same in this 105. Here we have Les Laban with his opening squat of 217.5. Very seasoned competitor. Seen him on the platform many times. Very consistent. Expect nothing but an easy squat on this attempt. Nice, steady and control. Finished it well. And what does the ref say? 3 white lights. And now we have Edwin coming up. Don't be fooled by his looks. He's actually a masters lifter. Probably, even though he looks only 15, he is a masters lifter.
That's quite the compliment, Kidrick. We've all seen Edwin squat significantly more than this, so no doubt this 222.5 will fly up. I believe Edwin currently owns the Auckland the squat record for the Masters 1 category. In this competition, he hasn't registered in the open class, but we'll be keeping an eye out on him for the overall 105 kg placings. And it's deep. 3 whites from the refs. I just want to shout out the spotters and loaders making the competition run extremely smoothly. We had 3 flights this morning and it took far less time than anticipated, making a more enjoyable and fast-paced comp. Alright, we've got Aaron Hills up next. This is only Aaron's second comp. Certainly a dark horse in this competition, but possible favourite to run away with it. Although it looked like he paused that, not sure what's going on there. A little bit confusing for the spotters and loaders, but we'll see what the referees say. Lacking some pop, but he still gets it, 2-1. What do you think went wrong there, Kidrick?
I don't know. Might just be nervous. Maybe he was afraid he didn't hit that. He got the start call a little bit late. Might have gotten it to his head. This being his second comp. First one, not as a novice. so maybe it might just be newcomer's nerve, but got the lift, really well done. And here we have Leo, moving up from the 93 kilo class. Leo personally told me that during lockdown he went up to 100 kilos and decided to compete in the 105 instead of the 93 kilos. He said he's getting heavier, but his strength is not going up. I think he might prove us wrong today.
Yeah, from memory, we've seen Leo not lift too far away from this number that he's opening with here, so I'd like to think that infers he's... Oh, wow! 225. Are there helium in those plates? Maybe we should check. So, yeah, I think it's fair to say Leo's strength probably has gone up. Right, up next we have Daryn Neebs, APA president, member of North Shore Barbell, although he's repping Get Strength today, so not sure what we have to say about that. But anywho, Darren's definitely one of the favourites for this session. Normally a masters lifter, but deciding to lift with the opens. And you can hear the room going off for Daz. Everyone loves to see him lift, and he gives his heart and soul to the Auckland Powerlifting Federation. A nice easy opener from Daz. 2-1, he gets it. And according to one of our referees on the side, he missed the rack command, so he'll need to be conscious of that when he comes out for his second. Anywho, up next we have Sean Winters, who's actually from Waikato Bay of Plenty. I believe he was on referee duties last week, hence why he's come up to Auckland to qualify for nationals. This man is strong, and for those of you who have been around for a while will remember him from the Battle of the 105s at the national champs last week. What do you know of Sean Winters, Kidrick?
I honestly have not seen him lift at all, so I'm actually really surprised with such a big squat in the 105 class. I haven't seen such a big squat in a long time, especially for an opener, so really excited to see Sean Winters lift.
Here we go. Unracking the bar. Sean typically sits below the weight class. According to his weigh-in, it looks like he's bulked up a wee bit. This should move pretty well. And a strong effort there. I think he'll probably look to move up into the 600-pound range on his second. That concludes the opening attempts for the 105s. It's hard to tell with only the first squats coming through, but this is definitely going to be one to watch at the end.
Is Daryn a master's lifter?
What was that, Kidrick?
Is Daryn a master's lifter?
He is a master's lifter, but he's decided to throw his head in the ring with the opens. And we have Jack Tan at Destimate on Instagram back in the commentating seat. What's up, Jack?
Thanks, guys. Glad to be back.
Here we have North Shore Barbell's Hamish Smith from Canterbury originally. He's a teacher, taking 195 for his second attempt.
Got a nice bright pink belt.
Very nice bright pink belt with the yellow shoes, and he's been asked to replace the bar. I'm not sure what's going on there. What do you think, Jack?
I think I saw Rory say his knees were unlocked.
Knees unlocked. Couldn't see it from here, but we won't disagree with the refs.
I always disagree with the refs.
Someone's got to be that guy.
Still manages to recover very, very well.
Yeah. Pretty good recovery. That's a sign of a good lifter, that mental fortitude to be able to come back, put up with the bullshit, and squat.
It's always very, very challenging having to re-rack the bar and then unrack it again. Like mentally, it really gets you.
100%. Might turn the gain up. If I turn the gain up, we can stand further away, right?
Bar is loaded.
Alright, so Jason Blakelock's re-attempting his opener. Just didn't have anything coming out of the hole there. I think the weight cut really got him.
Weight cuts are no joke, folks. Not his day now. We actually do have an expert about weight cuts with us. Dietitian, I would say, of world champion Taylor Atwood. Now, what can go wrong with the weight cut, Kedrick?
I think cutting weight, a big percentage of your weight, could really increase the RPE, also known as the rate of perceived exertion of the load. So maybe the weight just felt heavy and he felt like he couldn't grind through it, whereas regularly he could easily push through it just because maybe it felt really difficult. He just gave up, you know. Not everybody can grind like Joe Latta over here.
Now we have Sean King moving up 10 kgs from his opener. What do you know of Sean's lifting jack?
Alright, he gets a quick call this time. No knee issues. Alright. No, very smooth second attempt there.
I'd say maybe another 7.5 from that one there.
I think, just going back to water cuts, I think people who do their first water cut, a big mistake for them is thinking that getting through the cut is the hardest part, and they don't think about what to do after the cut, right? So getting all your fluids, all your salts in is very important. And also setting realistic expectations on how the weights are going to feel after you finish cutting.
100%. And a good squat from Putasi. 210 for his second. Up next we have Binney with 220. Now you'll remember Binney had some issues locking his knees at the beginning of the lift, perhaps some nerves. So hopefully he's cleaned that up.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Binney.
Alright, now Binney had issues with not getting a start call in the last attempt. Gets a quick one this time.
And the refs think it's good, although the side ref gave him a red for depth. Alright, up next we have Glenn from GS, moving up to 227.5.
The old 500 pounds.
What do you think this will be like for Glenn Jack?
His opener was pretty smooth, pretty consistent. I think it'll move okay.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Glenn.
Glenn currently in 5th based on prognosis. And he powers through to get that 227.
Maintains good positioning all the way through.
There's some monster squats coming up in this round. Sean Winters has put in 275 for his second. Daryn Neebs with 250. Right, up next we have M2 lifter Les Laban.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Les.
He loves getting hyped up for this and feeding off the crowd. Up, come on!
He powers through for 230.
Very nice drive.
But unfortunately, it appears not deep enough, and one of the referees, a red and a yellow. A bit of confusion in the building with one referee giving him a yellow.
They're meant to be reds.
And it turns out they were supposed to be a red. Now, if this was a bigger competition, we'd have a jury on, and that would be a reason for a coach to go contest. Right, Aaron Hills with 235. You'll remember he pause squatted 225, and not just pause squatted, he 3-count pause squatted 225.
I think he was just a little bit nervous. I think it's his first comp and his first Auckland Champs.
And unfortunately, that 235 was not meant to be. We've seen him with some big weights in the past, so he'll need to come back, get hyped up, and hopefully power through. Now 242 for Edwin. You'll notice this man has taken a 20 kilogram jump.
Yeah, a huge jump, 20 kilo jump. I mean, I'm all about that big jump life. What do you think about that jump?
I think it's risky, Jack, but to each their own. Big breath for Edwin. He takes it deep. It's a bit shaky, but he gets it.
It's a little bit unstable in that hole.
There from Edwin, my goodness.
Very, very good recovery. I don't know what would you jump to next after that. It's very hard to say.
I'd personally go up 2.5, but we don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
And looked like he was moving an empty bar on his opener.
I guess that's what happens when you take a big jump, right? Your body, it's almost like a big shock to the body. And if you're not ready for it, then anything can happen.
Right, up next we have Leo. Once again, this is his debut in the 105s. He was saying to Kedrick how he didn't feel much stronger, but this 20 kg jump says differently. What do you make of that, Kedrick?
I think this will move. I think this will move well. I think as an Asian, typical Asian, being humble and knowing Leo all around, really gentle guy, even though massively huge lifts. I think this will move well, and let's see what he does. Oh man,
He has just demolished 245.
Definitely an overstatement when he says that he didn't gain any strength. I think one thing to note is that when you move out a weight class, you get the mythical squat belly, and usually the squat goes up quite well. And it might be a case, if he doesn't want to attribute it to his strength, it could be squat belly. So maybe 50-50, we don't know, but definitely a very, very easy lift.
All right, back up we have Big Daz, moving up 15 kgs to 250, coached by the one and only John Strachan. Daz feeds off the height, much like Les, who we spoke about before. So make sure you got your spirit fingers up, giving him some support from your lounges. Go Daryn! And not to be today.
Looks like he kind of collapsed in the hole, and then he just wasn't in a good position to get out.
It could very well be a bit of a misgroove from Daryn there. It's worth noting we have a really strong spotting and loading crowd. 66 kg second place getter Will Hemington, 93 kg second place getter Lee McLeod, and you know the others from GS.
What is a second place getter? Is that even a thing?
Silver.
I think you mean runner up.
Runner up.
Bar is loaded.
In powerlifting, you can't just run up because you don't run.
And the others we have Tom Liu, Matthew Chan, and Regan Deere.
If you watched 2015 Worlds, you'd recall Regan Deere, now sporting less here. Alright, Sean Winters with 275, 605 pounds on the bar.
This opener wasn't too fast, but it's very consistent. It's smooth.
Equaling the biggest squad of the competition so far.
Again, he maintains very good position.
Honestly, I don't think that moved much different from his opener.
It's one of those lifters where it just moves the same regardless of the speed, which makes it very hard to make calls for what you should jump to next.
And interestingly, we actually had 4 misses in that second round. Over 1/3 of the lifters. Some high pressure environment out there. Alright, Jason Blake Block going with 200 for the third go. He needs this to stay in the competition.
Come on, Jason.
Go, Jason! Come on!
The crowd's getting behind him.
Come on, Jason!
We've seen him squat at in other competitions before. He just needs this. He's fighting, he's getting at everything, and unfortunately, it's not to be today. Jason can choose to continue lifting if he wants to, but unfortunately, the day at Auckland Champs 2020 is over.
Jason normally competes at the 120, and I think it's his first time cutting to 105.
So no. The combination of a diet and a water cut can be intense. Alright, here we have Hamish Smith moving up to 202.5 kilograms for his third attempt squat. He didn't lock the knees when he unracked first time on his second attempt, but here's a good crew in his corner and he can definitely tidy this up. Hamish's best squat in training is 200 kgs. And he's grinding for it. He wants it. I think it's good from this angle, but we want to see what the rest say. 2-1, he gets it with 1 red for depth.
Very, very good grind there by Hamish. It's a very good attempt selection.
Right on one side of the depth, and all you need is 2 whites.
Jason's working with one of APA's most prominent coaches, Jason Clark.
17.5 kilos.
Up next, we have Putasi with 217.5 kgs on the bar, a 7.5 kg jump from his second. A little unorthodox, moving up 5 kgs, then 7.5. Chung Kwong giving him some ammonia there.
Maybe his second moved very, very well, which justified the bigger jump.
And he should have probably put some more weight on that.
There we go.
Jack Tan with the excellent breakdown of his second attempt.
Weight is now 220 kilos.
Changing angles so you can all see what's going on. Sean is a lover of hype, and he's probably listening to some metal in those headphones. There he goes with his girlfriend Eloise Hurstein from the earlier session, giving him some hype. This will be a personal best for Sean if he gets it.
Crowd we got, man.
And this room is absolutely packed to support the big boys lifting.
Officially ran out of seats in there. So many people standing.
Sean can grind, and he pushes through and gets it. I actually think there was more in the tank there. 2-1, he gets it with 1 red for depth.
And he's stoked. And he takes Jason Clark out.
That is one happy man. Unfortunately, we didn't get him taking his coach out, and not for dinner. All right. We have none other than Binney with 500 pounds on the bar, 227 and a half. Keith Cald's bar is loaded.
Let's go, Binney!
Come on, Binney.
We know this man has some grind power.
Yes, good.
And he's pushing. He wants
He's
it.
got some grind. Yes.
Yes. 3 whites for Mitch Binney. 3 for 3 on the squats.
He's got to be happy with that one.
Glenn Borum moving up 5 kilograms to 232.5.
Just giving our squad loads a bit of shoulder workout behind of this bar.
Benny normally has depth issues, like in training. You know, it's kind of borderline. But today, yeah, he manages to.
It's good to see it,
Yeah.
especially with high quality referees on the platform. All right, Glenn with 232.5. A little bit higher than the others. 232 moves well though.
Is that deep?
No, the referees think it's deep. We're not being paid to judge depth, Jack.
You say it was high.
Weight stays at 230.
You say it was high.
From this angle, it was higher than his second.
Yeah.
All right, Liz Laban with 232, moving up from a missed 230.
Wait, you're getting paid?
Ah, well, this is awkward.
Let's go, Liz!
Let's go.
Let's go. Do you think you're going to be lifting 232 when you're a Masters 2 lifter, Kedrick?
I hope so. My goal is to be like Edwin, you know. You look young, you lift, and you squat a lot, but
Yes.
the squat has a lot of catching up to do.
All right, he prepares. Squats definitely, it looks deep enough from this angle. Nice and controlled from Les.
Was it deep enough this time?
And unfortunately not.
2 reds on the sides for getting there.
Really unfortunate.
Really unfortunate, but the good news is he's still got bench and deadlift to make up some ground.
Weight goes to 235.
235 for Aaron Hills. Now, Paul squatted his first.
Bar is
Didn't make it out of the hole on his second.
Let's go, Aaron! Come on!
Hailing from Get Strength, there's no shortage of support in this room. And he's pushing.
That was much better.
That looks so much better.
That's a completely different squat to his. He's got to be relieved of that one.
And he's found his form. We know he's got a big deadlift on the way for later, so looking forward to seeing that. Now, back on the platform we have APA President Daryn Neebs with 250 kgs. Now, he missed that last time. We've seen him demolish 250 before, so we hope it's a bit of a misgroove.
Let's go!
Come on, Daryn.
Everyone in here's behind him.
You know what he squatted in training?
245 is his best in this current training cycle, but he often leaves a bit in the tank for competition.
Maybe he just misgrooved that last one.
Yeah. He just needs to fight through this. He needs this squat. Unfortunately, not meant to be. A good effort nonetheless.
Spending the last 2 days running this shindig takes a lot out of you.
Disclaimer for Daryn, he has been running this for the last 2 days, here from the crack of dawn on Friday setting up. Alright,
Edwin has jumped 10 kilos.
from an interesting second attempt.
That's the end.
I don't know. I don't really know what. Like anything could happen, to be honest.
Bar is loaded.
Let's go, Edwin. 252.5.
The other guy who's making close.
Yeah. Every slightly shorter as well.
Yeah. Like massive. They're both like massive. Yeah.
I'd say as long as he doesn't bottom this one out, he'll be alright. A bit shaky on the walkout. Big breath. And he's pushing. He's pushing.
He's got fight in him.
And wow,
What a recovery.
10 kgs was a good decision from Edwin.
Absolutely deserves that one.
Now, this one's going to be exciting.
No, it's not. It's just gonna be fast, bro.
Leo's made easy work of his first 2 attempts, and he's moving up 17.5 kgs to
It's just
262.5.
gonna go down and up. That's
This is the heaviest he's squatted since the lockdown is 225.
If you couldn't hear, the heaviest he has squatted since lockdown is 225 kilograms. This is 37.5, yes, 225. This is 37.5 kgs more than his best squat since lockdown.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Leo.
Let's go! This is going to be exciting to watch.
He's smiling, man. He's loving it.
Place your bets in the live chat, people. Nothing like having a good day to make you have even better of a day. Wedging himself into position there. This is a monster squat. And
I'm telling you, down and up.
load up 600 pounds in the back room. This man is on fire.
What do you mean I didn't get stronger going up a weight class?
Yeah. From now on, if someone says they don't get stronger putting on weight, tell them they're a liar.
They're a liar.
Okay, and the final squat of the 105 kilogram session, Sean Winters with a monster 282.5 kilogram squat. This is the heaviest squat of the competition so far.
Bar is loaded.
If memory serves right, this is much bigger than Sean's squat at Nationals last year.
Was he 105 at national?
Yeah, he was 105 in the battle with Maui Kupu.
Has he lifted us at 93 before?
He hasn't actually.
He hasn't?
No, he almost did and lost a lot of weight and was a light 105 for a little while. Or at least not in recent history. Sean repping Waikato Bay of Plenty here at the Auckland Champs 2020. And he pushes through. No, not meant to be today. Just too much. Alright, that concludes the 105 squats. Now we're moving on to the combined 120 kg and 120 kg plus class.
That was a very, very good catch by the spotters. You know, normally people see, if you see someone stall like that, they'll take it, like, you know, at a reaction really, really quick. But they'll let them have a shot at it, let them grind it for a little bit, and then once it went down, that's when they took it.
These guys are pretty experienced.
First up, we have Tommy with 100 kilos on the bar.
Led by powerlifting accountant Lee McLeod as the head spotter.
Now, Tommy Taylor, he's not competed with the NZPF for a while. We know he competes in strongman competitions, and from what I gather, he's here merely to qualify for nationals. He's not too bothered by his total. We all know he can squat well in excess of 200 kgs. He's not fooling anyone. The qualifying total is somewhere in the mid 400s.
Really? For a 120.
Here's a junior. And the bar literally left the man's back.
Dana, do we have a copy of the weigh-ins? I mean, the weights. Do we have an extra?
I mean, I'm all for qualifying and stuff, but that was just ridiculous.
I think suffice to say we're all keen on seeing that man load up some more weight. Up next we have Paul Gatch, known for his bench press, but obviously keen on taking some 3 lift bench records, opening with 140 kilograms.
This man has a Jewish star on his soft suit. Never seen it before, but here's his squat. Paused it, got it easy. He's not even wearing any knee sleeves, so must be some really easy weight. Alright, to all you streaming, you probably can't see this, but the crowd here is insane. This is probably the biggest Auckland champs we had in terms of participants, but it is also probably the biggest in terms of crowd we ever had in a long, long time.
We'll try to get you a shot of the crowd soon. If people think powerlifting competitions aren't spectator friendly, they've probably never been to a competition in Auckland.
This is
or
crazy.
Any region of New Zealand for that matter.
Bar is loaded.
Bar is loaded for Brian Gonzalez on his first attempt.
Also known as Gonzalez on his Instagram.
We've seen Brian squat a bit more than this, so this should go down pretty easy. It looks pretty good.
Easy squat there for Brian.
Brian's historically had an issue with his depth, but that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Red on one side for Dan.
Yeah, 2-1 with red on one side for depth for Brian. Up next we have Sani with 210. Now, Sani is known for his uncanny ability to be able to perform well without training at all.
Bar is loaded.
Goes through long phases of no training.
He just likes to
Still manages
compete.
to pull it off. Yeah, the man's a competitor by nature.
Do you want to bring your phone here or something? Because okay. Well, we're gonna finish
And a
this
pretty
whole
easy
flight.
squat for Sonny.
She has to be writing down numbers.
Goes up to 2.
All
This
right.
is a familiar face.
Yep. Interim NZPF President Paul Clark opening with 215 now. Paul had some health issues last year, which unfortunately stopped him from competing at nationals and Auckland Cup and whatnot. But he's been looking pretty good in training. The squat's still on the come up, but he's a big bencher and a powerful deadlifter, so I'm sure we'll see something decent from Paul.
Let's go!
Absolutely playing with that squat rack, showing it who's boss. It's going to be a pretty interesting battle between the three 120 kg open at this meet. Sitting it down.
It's almost like the thread. He's like searching for the hole, feeling it out.
Paul does. He does squat like an equivalent. Sorry, you took me away with your words, Jack. Up next, Kieran Scott. Now, I don't know much about this lifter. Have you heard of either of you guys heard of him?
No, I've never seen him before. Might be his first one.
Opening with 240 kilograms in the
A very respectable
under
opener.
120 kg class, and he weighed in over 3 kgs underweight.
How could you tell that?
I'm looking at the scoreboard across the room, Jack.
Oh wow. Got good eyes, mate.
I've been eating carrots. Takes a breath as he descends.
Very deep.
Ass to grass squat there from Kieran Scott. And the judges like it. Up next, none other than Alan Postlethwaite.
Is that one of your lifters?
He sometimes trains at North Shore Barbell, but I wouldn't say he calls it home.
Okay. Put Adam Riddle in his corner.
Yeah, I believe that's his coach. Alan is the current favourite in this weight class.
Whoa. Let's go, Alan. 47.
Huh?
That's a huge squat. 247.
Yeah. Jack, you're correct. That is a huge squat. 247 kgs to open. Alan's had some bad weight cuts in the past, so hopefully he's nailed that today. And we'll show 247 who's boss. Quick reaction after the call. Squat looks good from this angle, and it's 3 white lights. He'll move on from there.
He's a very, very tall lifter. Very big range.
He is exceptionally tall, and I wouldn't want to be under 6 foot spotting that. 2 lifters left in the round.
Overhead pressing some shit.
Both in the junior 120 plus class. Now, Terry here, lifting out of Get Strength, is a new lifter, and there is a lot of hype around this guy.
Newcomer Terry, he's got a lot of potential.
And the room is alive with support for Terry.
Let's go! Terry opened 255, only recently started squatting in these things, maybe like 1 week out.
Who does that? Belt inherited from Joe Whittaker, as Jack just told us. And he demolishes 255 for the opener.
Do you see how deep that was?
Insane squatting.
Absolutely demolished.
Did he tie his soft suit?
Yeah. The man is so big, he tore his soft suit. Now the last squat of round 1 of the 120 and 120 plus is David Bell. Some know him as Mr. Squat. Has the Auckland junior squat record. I don't know about open.
Auckland?
Yeah, he squats about 300 kgs normally,
It's
so
not more than 7.
it's the junior squat record then. Yes, as Jack's just mentioned, we're missing Seb Mclaren, current Auckland and national champion in the 120 plus, as he's out with a hip injury, I believe. Now, blink and you'll miss this. David is about to take 270 for his opener, which should fly.
Absolutely beautiful to watch.
He's known for his textbook form.
Look how thick his knees are, man. They're just...
Powerful.
Look at that.
The weight almost flies off his back. 2-1, he gets it.
The yellow knee. Oh, he missed the squat command. He gets 1 yellow for missing the squat command.
Jump the start call.
Now go on to second in the tens, I believe. Second stop, we have 130 kilos on the bar with Tommy Taylor.
This guy's literally just trying to qualify.
Huh?
He's just trying to qualify.
Now, normally I'd say a 30 kilo jump is a massive jump. But if you would have saw Tommy's opener, I think you would not doubt that he is going to make this one fly just as fast.
All right. I'd suffice to say, Tommy might be in a different competition today, and that is a behind the neck jerk, catch, whatever you want to call it. Slow descent, and he rockets up with 130. We know he's just here to qualify, but it'll be nice to see something decent put on the bar. He'll be one to watch out for at Nationals. Moving up, 150 for bench god Paul Gatch.
Yeah, that's alright. Sorry?
So one thing you would notice that the spotters and loaders change was moving the rack in. You have to remember that this is a 120 and 120 plus session, which means the lifters are bigger and sometimes they need to place their hands wider. That is why they move the spotter, the stands inwards to accommodate the lifter's squat rack position.
Now,
Why would someone choose to have their hands at the edge of a barbell, Kedrick?
Usually people would say it's mobility issues. They can't stay tight without feeling pain, but sometimes it's just so huge that you just need to put your hands out that wide because you're that big.
That's right. Some of the larger lads like to hold it out wide.
Sometimes your biceps are just so big that you can't have a narrow grip, you know?
Yeah, that you can only flex to 135 degrees. All right, next we have Brian Gonzalez moving up 10 kgs for his second. He was just playing with 205. Got one red on the side for depth. But provided he moves it like his first, this should be very easy for Brian.
Bar is loaded.
Very easy for Brian on his second. Lovely and controlled. And he gets 3 white lights, righting the wrongs of the first. Up next we have one of our 120 kg lifters, Paul Clark, moving up to 15 kilograms on the squat to 230. Now, I saw him take this pretty easily in training the other day, and his best in competition is actually about 255. So, although he's still building up to that for later in the year, I expect this to move pretty well.
I mean, if he decided to take a 25 kilo jump to his third, I would approve.
Yeah. 25 kilogram. That's some Destimon philosophies right there.
Destimon training philosophies. Hashtag Team DTF.
Paul eyeing up the bar, getting in the zone to take this. It's important he gets as many runs on the board now as possible to make sure he places high up that podium. And it moves well out of the hole. Grits his teeth a little bit, but pretty good from this angle. 2-1, he gets it with 1 red for depth. Up next we have Sani with a 25 kilogram jump, a DTF jump if you will, moving to 235 kgs.
Love me a good DTF jump.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Sonny.
I'm surprised he can do this without training. Maybe you take big jumps when you're really confident in your body and you know what it can handle, but without training, like how can you do that?
It's hard to say. I'm too paranoid to stop training to not train. It would be quite nice to be able to take a week off and not worry.
Sometimes life takes over, man. I think Sani runs 4 businesses or something like that.
I heard it was 7.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right.
And he pushes through that one. Solid squat. Sani actually did the bench only competition last night here at the Colmar Sports Arena.
What do you bench?
Do you know what? I can't actually remember, and I was the centre spotter. Also took some big jumps. Maybe qualifying for bench nationals in Hamilton this November. Are you going to be doing bench nationals yet?
I mean, you're entertaining the idea in my head, seeing as how good my bench went yesterday.
And what about you, Kedrick?
If there's a nationals for the quickest eccentric bench press competition, probably, but other than that, I don't think so.
Alrighty, here we have Kieran Scott, the dark horse of the 120s, moving up 15 kgs to the 255 kilograms. And he buries it in a pretty easy squat.
I really like his technique.
Head down, no bullshit.
Yeah.
255.
Maintains the same position the whole time.
The guys are going to need to keep a track of what Kieran's up to in this competition. All All right, a third 120 kg competitor, Alan Postlethwaite, moving up 15 kilograms to 262.5. Perhaps a little shaky on the first, but I'm confident.
Very impressive squat for someone this tall. So people say that weight classes are just height classes in disguise, and usually when you're taller, there's more range of motion for you to travel. So for the tallest squatter in the 120 kilo class, also very impressive to have the biggest squat in the 120 kilo class. So let's watch what Alan does.
He takes it a little bit higher than the first.
Let's see what the refs say. Just as we thought, 2-1 for that.
Look, I'd say it's a misconception to say if you squat it high, you can't squat it to depth. I'd say a lot of lifters who play it on the line can in fact squat to depth. They just need to make sure they feel comfortable enough.
Definitely. It's definitely a confidence and being comfortable in the hole. Especially when you're hitting a weight or unknown territory that you've never been to before. It's very, very tempting to just cut it short.
All right, Big Terry up next with 270. This man is a junior, believe it or not. He demolished 255. He's about to take 270. Only just started wearing knee sleeves. And he pushes it up there, and he asks, why is there not more weight on my bar?
That moves very, very well. I think it's a new PR for Terry. Or that'd be an equal PR in the gym for Terry.
I would say a good move would be about 280 for his third.
Right now we have David Bell, Squat King, textbook form.
All right,
Break that 300 barrier today.
break. Did you just say break the 300 kg barrier?
Yep. I think so.
All right, he's moving up 20 kgs to 290. Mr. Squat is his name. If memory serves me correct, David makes all his lifts look exactly the same, so this should be good. Rockets up 290.
I think he missed the rat call.
And he misses the rat call. The question now becomes, the stakes are higher with Terry, the newcomer, also competing. Does he want to move up to take the Auckland record?
I think he should. It was a very, very easy squat.
Yeah, I think this is one of those rare occasions where moving up isn't
the right way.
yeah, it's not too silly.
What would you jump to? Assuming he got it.
I can't
what
conceive
would
of
you
squatting
put?
290. I'd say 305.
302?
305.
302, 305,
Yeah,
yeah.
right around there. Definitely above the 300 mark. Once again, Tommy Taylor trying to qualify.
Tommy Taylor with a 22.5 kg jump. Which is clearly lightweight for him, but it was easier than his 130 seconds.
Three white lights, that's a good lift. Easy peasy.
Balanced it so hard that he didn't know it.
That looked like he was going to jerk it.
Tommy Taylor trying to do some plyometrics, some jump squats there.
We don't recommend or subscribe to the idea of doing jumps with a barbell on your back.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Paul.
Bench King Paul Gatch up next with 160 with the racks in.
Notice he's not squatting with knee sleeves. Raw knees.
Raw. 160 for Paul. He is known for his bench, and I believe I've seen him bench around 210 or 215. Up next we have 120 kg plus member. I didn't say that right. Anyway, up next we have Brian Gonzalez with a 10 kilogram jump to 225 kgs.
I think the 120 plus class is quite interesting for Auckland champs because reigning champion Seb Mclaren is not competing. So the chance to get the biggest total for the 120 plus class this year at Auckland champs is up for grabs. So very interesting to watch. Keep a close eye on that. And right now we have Brian Gonzalez for his third squat with 4 reps, 225 kilos. Walks calmly under the bar. His first 2 squat looks like textbook form. I believe he'll do the same with his third. Nice and steady walk out. Very, very steady squat. Very, very easy. Third attempt. Well done.
3 white lights. Shout out to our viewers and especially our commenters. Christchurch NZ Films. Not sure who's going incognito with a different YouTube account. Jordan Kane thinks it's Maui. Alright, here's Paul Clark moving up 5 kgs to 235. Getting in the zone. He should take this with relative ease. And he says, let's go, as he comes up out of the hole. 3 white lights for Paul Clark from North Shore Barbell. Up next we have Sonny, the man that knows himself, with 245, a 10 kg jump from his second.
Is this Kavwa on the stream?
Shout out to Kavwa Sakoni, Kavwa 27. I'm sure he's missing not being here for the action. It's almost like he'd have to have a 2-week quarantine if he chose to come here.
I reckon the only reason he didn't come was because he was scared of
Whoa. Drama started by none other than Jack Tan.
Shots fired.
Not sure where the lights are at. We're not paid to host the stream, merely talk crap over it. Angus is currently running good lift. Here he goes. Deep breath for 245. Controlled descent. And he pushes. And I don't think I've seen the bar move down. He locks his knees. And unfortunately, blues in a red. So one ref is saying he didn't get deep enough. And 2 of the refs are saying the bar moved down somewhere during the ascent.
I think it's big, you got like more mass, like comes on the weight.
Is this a CPA comp? No, the lifters are far too strong. Oops.
Wait, you were supposed to mute that one.
CHA
Okay.
NZ Films.
7.5 kg jump for Kieran Scott. 262.5. Instead of us discussing who has the better quality stream, which is probably Wellington, we should work together to make all the streams better.
Very nice. Beautiful.
Beautiful. The dark horse rises with 262.5.
Textbook technique right there.
Right now goes up to a clean 270 kilos.
Irvin Todd.
What up? It's a Parenton. Hit his first 160 kg bench in competition at the Canterbury Champs yesterday.
These are the last 3 squats of the competition. Let's get behind them.
The last 3 squats of the competition, we have Alan Postlewaite taking 270 next. A 7.5 kg jump from his failed second, which he failed on depth, so he's pretty confident here. And then the big 120 kg plus junior boys.
Let's go, Alan. Come on. Come on, Alan. Come on. Let's go.
Why is CPA so alpha?
Let's go, Alan. Come
Is that a rhetorical question? All right, 270 on the bar for Alan. He needs this to stay ahead of the other boys with the bigger benches. And he pushes through it. This man can grind. It looked deeper than the last one.
Yes, he takes it.
2 white lights.
Next up with 280 kilos on the bar, we have Terry.
Good call on 280.
Hey?
Good call on 280.
Yeah, I'm the clairvoyant. All right, Big Terry.
I think he's definitely got this in the bag. He just needs to stay composed and not get too hyped for it.
Bar is
About to take 280, as Jack just said. If he stays composed, he gets it. If he gets too hyped, he might push the boat out too far. Let's go, Terry.
Come on, Terry. Come on. Get after it. Come
Let's
on.
go!
Let's go. Come on, Terry.
He takes it deep in the hole, and it was easier in a second. Terry takes 280.
What a great squat. He had more in the tank there. I think he had more in the tank.
More in the tank.
Faster than the second.
He is very, very happy with that. That's a 10 kilo all-time PR, and it's his first NZPF comp, so...
So, are we thinking that the knee sleeves gave him that pop he needed?
Yes. And the belt. And the
I'm
belt.
sure Terry will be one to watch at Nationals in 12 weeks' time.
He's wearing a metal belt though, does it count?
Huh?
He's wearing a metal belt, so does it count?
That's bad.
How long has Terry been lifting, Jack?
I'm not too sure how long he's been training for, but he used to compete I think he's done a GPC comp in the past. But this year is his first year lifting in the NZPF.
Nice. He's moved where the competition is.
Oh, okay, so David Bell goes for a 300 kilo flat.
300 kg squat for that, and I think he had more in the tank, but he clearly wants to get more runs on the board.
This would be a very safe attempt for him.
This squat's almost as much as Maui Kupu.
Look at that. That was a
Here we go. Opener for David.
300, 320, 350.
Alright, that concludes the squats from the Auckland 2020 Powerlifting Championships. 10-minute break until the bench starts, starting with the 105 kilogram class.
Grab a drink, grab some snacks, and get comfy.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great session.
We're going to see some big bench in the 105, 120, and 120 plus for sure.
That's right, guys. Grab a beer, grab some chips, get comfy, because you're in for a bumpy ride.
Eat healthy.
I didn't say eat healthy, no.
I thought you said eat healthy.
I can bring it here if you want.
1 minute to go until the 105s kick off. We have Daryn Neebs opening with 60 kgs, who apparently has hurt his shoulder.
Bar is loaded, 60 kilos on the bar for Daryn. Sadly injured his shoulder.
Not sure if it's a flare-up or something to do with his failed squat.
It's very unfortunate. Yeah.
That was a long press call. That's a long press call. Clearly somebody learning from Joe Latta over here.
Look, I let the athletes dictate how long the press calls should be. The bar must be motionless, and if people are sinking and the bar's still descending, they don't get a press call. Easy as that.
Don't listen to that guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Check his credentials.
Fun fact, Joe asked Jack and myself whether we're going to be doing bench nationals because we both compete in the same weight classes as Joe, but Joe clearly wants to flex his bench superior strength.
He wants to pad his class with lifters so he can say he beat everybody.
Of the average benches, I do okay. Alright.
To bring in Josh Perkins.
Who's that? Alright, up next we have Edwin taking 115. Not known for his bench, but similar to his other lifts, he does take fairly big, risky jumps. And he's not getting the start command.
Place the bar.
So the left ref and the centre judge don't think he is ready to start. Look, it looks like he's wearing chucks, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. Ban chucks from powerlifting.
He's got 20 seconds. It's 20 seconds to set up.
It is still possible though. Zoe Perkins managed to get the bench in 15 seconds. Twice. There we go. Solid bench. We have for a big boy, that's not a sink bench, which is probably one of Joe's favorite bench styles.
Soft touch is overrated.
Soft touch is not overrated, folks. So that puts Edwin in with a 617 kg forecast total, which would have him 4th overall, although he's entered only in the Masters 1 category.
Bar is loaded.
What shoes is David wearing?
Like Geordie had said, and he's repeating what I said, don't ever bench in chucks. As a referee, seeing it, even if you feel your foot is flat, it appears that the side of the shoe or the back of the shoe is coming up. Regardless of the grip, it is not worth the risk. And easy at 122 kgs for Putasi.
Three wide lines, good lift. That goes up to 130 kilos for Liz. Bar is loaded, let's go Liz.
Bar is loaded for Les with
130 is his opener.
probably very nice conservative opener right here for Les. As a fan of color coordinating your lifting outfit, I approve of Les's outfit.
Now, what benefit is there in color coordination in your outfit, Kedrick?
Taylor Edwards says, look good, feel good, lift good. And if it's from the world champ, might be true.
I think that's reason enough to color coordinate.
Some would say it's mandatory for maintaining your sponsorship with certain brands.
Some would say that.
Bar is loaded.
Surprised Jack didn't give a shout out to Race Lower.
Use my discount code.
Shout out to that from Race Lower.
And here we have King Sean, often confused with Sean King, with his opener of 130 kgs. Sean is the lone competitor in the 105 kg junior class, although he is in truth competing with the open lifters. Very easy opener there for Sean. Having a great day so far.
Much power in that press. 3 white lights, good.
Hey, is Jason coached by Brett?
137
Quite a while.
Justin Reason?
What?
Are you talking about Justin Reason?
No,
Jason.
Oh,
Jason.
coached by Brett.
Yes, that's right. Jason Clark is coached by none other than former world champion Brett Gibbs for quite a while. There's some random facts for your stream this afternoon. All right, moving on. We have Hamish Smith with 137.5 kgs. Now, this is only about 5 kgs less than his best ever bench in competition, which he did as a 93 kg lifter. Also worth noting, this is Hamish's first comp as a 105. He's a big lad, so wants to put those long bones to use. Smooth there for Hamish.
From Hamish, 3 white lights, that's a good lift. Weight goes up to 150 kilos now from Glenn.
Right, up next we have Glenn Borum with 150 as his opener.
Bar is loaded.
Fairly big bench in relation to squat from Glenn. I would say disproportionately to bench. Really? Yeah. Oh, maybe not. And a very smooth opener there for Glenn. He'll be happy with that one. A lot of guys with 150 kg plus benches in this sesh. Up next we have Binney, 155. I would say Binney is known for his bench. What would you say? Would you say, Jack?
I definitely think that is his strongest lift and his favourite lift. What have you seen him do? I think he's touch and go at 180 at some point in his life.
Is he an ex-footy player?
I think so.
Yeah. Weighing in at a light 103, 2 kgs below the cutoff. Sorry, 104, 1 kg below the cutoff.
Yes, Benny. Great recovery. He
Powerful
held
off
that
the
for
chest.
quite a while. They made it.
For those of you who don't know, holding the weight above you is extremely taxing.
Weight goes up to 160 kilos.
Not only that, it gives me anxiety, man, holding that thing.
Maui asks what the 105 kg bench record is. I don't actually have that in front of me.
0.
Let's say 0.
0 kilograms. Do you have records there? Probably not.
I don't know if they're updated online.
105. I reckon it's that
All we know is it's definitely more than 185.
it's that Simon guy, Simon Weaver,
Simon Weaver.
from like.
Aaron Hills with an easy 160 kg opener.
Oh, that was great.
He's certainly one to watch out for.
3 wide lights, good lift.
They heard Joel was giving out 3 count pauses on the bench yesterday. No, I was giving fair calls. If an athlete doesn't have the bar still on their chest, they don't get the press command. I will be refereeing at Nationals.
That's just his opinion, not the truth.
Sometimes opinion is truth.
Okay, I'm going to. Oh, we got a new format for the records. Looks like this.
Oh yeah, nice. Alright, Leo with a 160 kg opener. Now, Leo does have an old injury with his elbow, which sometimes prevents him from having straight elbows at the commencement of the lift, but he gets the start pretty fast. And rockets up with 160. Now, Leo...
Simon with a 172.
Simon, 172.5 kgs is the current Auckland Open record. Now,
I would say that Leo's going to have a good day for bench as well. He did have the Auckland 93 kg bench record for a while.
Probably gonna get the 105 as well.
Probably going to get the 105 record at this rate, yeah.
Leo, 172.5, right? Yep. He bench 165 like that.
So Sean Winters, sadly he can't take the Auckland record because he's from Waikato. So this would be over the Auckland record. If he decides to move up here, it's fair to say he'd take that. Good ban, this guy.
Prison Mike.
Very nice.
I heard,
very easy open on that one. We now go on to our second
All right, a good first attempt there from Sean, taking the lead with 175.
I heard a rumor that Leo is coached by that huge Asian guy.
Leo is coached by Andy Huang, I believe, yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
that huge Asian guy.
Wow.
All right. First lift of the second round of bench, 125 from Edwin. He had issues with his heels last time, and it appears that is still the case. We actually have one of our referees positioned on the ground to be able to see if the lifters' buttocks are flat to the bench as well as their heels. That's commitment.
Looks like Bugs Bunny ain't giving him any luck this time.
No.
Soft touch bench from Edwin. Nice finish. Completed the lift.
When you soft touch, what's stabilizing you at the moment, honestly?
What's stabilizing you?
Yes, like
Your
what-
strength.
No, I'm serious. Like, what muscle group are you using to stabilize? Using your chest.
I would say so.
When you do a soft touch.
Yeah, your
Your
chest.
chest. And the delts. Your anterior delts.
Right. And then when you do sync, it's not your chest or your delts.
It's your
your back.
bones.
No, I think it's your back.
Up next we have Putasi
Like-
with 137.5
I mean, you probably
kg
take
jump
it out
from
of the
his
equation.
second.
Yeah, I think so. Like, that's why I like the sync better now.
The only reason why I sing that time because I had a pec injury, so I don't feel as much at the bottom.
Exactly, right?
Gets the start command. And an easy second there. He's looking to bank numbers today.
So would you say that the soft touch is more hip demands? Definitely, right? So if you have a weak chest, then it's going to be way harder for you to do a soft touch.
Right, so we're talking about the soft touch versus the sink bench here. For those watching, could give us your thoughts. What do you think? Right now, we're saying that the pec demand would probably be slightly less on the sink bench, but I personally think that while that is true, smaller lifters also have less body weight to stabilize, and they usually like crush under the weight if they sink.
Okay.
Yeah, so which is why we usually see the bigger lifters sink more frequently. So,
Les Laban with a pretty good second attempt.
but we've seen Bobby Butters under 57 do a sink bench. So if it's possible for a 57 kilo female to do a sink bench, maybe worth giving a shot. Joe might disagree.
I look ridiculous doing that,
So
so
again, for the sinks,
yes.
59.
All right. King Sean with 137.5. Sean is definitely a sinky boy. High chest there.
Good sinky boy.
Some clean looking bench there from Sean.
Narrow grip sinky boy is King technique.
Something to take note though, Sean King used to always not get the bench because he would heave after the press call. But probably after some elite coaching from Jason Clark, managed to fix that technique. Mastered the sink.
Sean is also a PPS team member. Alright, moving on to Hamish, with what will be an equal personal best on the bench, 142.5. Make sure you're sending this stream to your mates, especially for the deadlifts because it's going to heat up. A smooth looking bench there from Hamish.
PR?
I don't believe it's PR yet.
What's PR? 42. That's equal PR.
What up to Wade Phillips, WCPA overall champion. What's a pause bench, T&G boys?
Like what Joe said, definitely send the live stream to your mates because deadlift is definitely going to heat up. We have Terry, who was recently featured on King of the Lifts for his deadlift. You definitely want to see him pull something big, so stay tuned for that. Right now, back to the bench, 105 with Glenn, 157.5 kilos.
Not 105.
105 kilo
Don't
men.
discredit the man.
Sorry, 105 kilo weight class.
Come on, push.
Smooth off the chest, a bit laboured at the top, but he gets it. Calvois says it's hard to sink a cold press. Mr. No warm-ups himself has weighed in, one of New Zealand's best ever bench presses.
Meaning like
He doesn't
pressing
warm up,
without
he's lifting colds.
So he doesn't sink.
No, he doesn't sink.
He doesn't sink.
No.
it's hard to sing when you don't get a press call from the national rep.
Thank you for sending the stream on. Up next we have Binney with 160, a 5 kg jump from his opener. And that hold looks to have taxed him somewhat. He'll come back and get it on a second. Got to kick those heels out.
Yep. So didn't get the call for the heels. Remember, it's really taxing to hold the bench at the top. And he was also wearing heels. So can you imagine wearing chucks? You might still not get the call because your heels are lifted off when you're wearing heels. So what more? Crappy shoes like chucks.
Anti-chuck bench crew.
Probably anti-chuck deadlift group too.
Yeah, in general.
Alright, Aaron go for 167.
90s fashion has no place on these platforms. Aaron Hill's moving up 7.5 kgs, I believe, to 167.5.
That's a good sinky boy.
And a good sinky boy bench press on there. 3 watts. Currently in 3rd place in the 105 kg open class.
Man, it's going on.
It'll be a bit of a fight
that a
with
Auckland
Aaron and
record?
Leo at the end.
Is
And
not
it
an
looks
record?
like Leo is going for an Auckland open record. Again, because he's from Auckland, he can take this. Unfortunately, Sean is not, so he doesn't have a claim on Auckland records. Let's go, Leo. It looks like he may have been in the press command, but it was easy nonetheless. And he did beat the press command. Oh, his heels were moving around according to the referees. Very interesting. All right, the biggest bench of the 105 kg session. Sean Winters up next with 185. How do we think this is going to move?
85 kilos up for Sean Winters. Bar is loaded.
I mean, I think I know what your answer is, but would you, seeing how well that moved, would you retake it? Would you go up?
If he wants to run away with second place, he needs to bank as many kilos on the bench to separate himself from Aaron Hills as possible.
Right.
So I would move to probably 180.
Right. Seeing as how well that actually did move.
Yeah.
Go Sean, big Chris.
And he's pushing hard. He needs to push back.
3 sticking points here.
Good fight.
This man has some triceps.
Oh, 2 against, unfortunately.
I think it's for one was for feet movement.
Foot movement.
Came up, well done.
And butt came up. Sadly, as soon as you hit a wall, it's very easy to put one's pelvis in the air.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Edwin.
What was your biggest training bench?
162. This wanted to bank kilos yesterday. So the top of round 3 we had Edwin with 130. He's had a bit of issue with getting his feet down, but he gets the start command now. He's fixed the issue. Soft touch on the chest and pushes out a fairly easy 130. 3 whites for Edwin.
Weight goes to 35 kilos. Bar is loaded.
And Leo has chosen to move up 10 kilograms
Oh yes.
after his failed second due to foot movement and such. So he's got some hubris today.
That's what we were talking about before. What did you say? Just what?
Hubris.
Hubris.
Like confidence.
Cajones.
Yes.
I'm bored.
Like you were saying, he needs as many kilos as he can if he wants to beat Aaron Hill. Is that right?
Yes, he needs to bank as much as possible to push your head after bench. Futasa takes it to his chest. And a pretty easy 135. He definitely would have had 137 in there.
Strong third, 3 white lights. Weight goes up to 142.5.
If Leo makes his 175 bench and Sean Winters does not, Leo would probably have the biggest bench in the 105 when you take body weight into account. So that's pretty impressive as well.
Let's go, Sean.
Remember that Leo is only trying to fill up the 105 class right now, and he weighed at 101.8 kilos, which is very, very light.
All right, Sean King up next. He's having a great day so far. 142.5 kilograms on the bar. And he's pushing it up. He's got strong tries.
Good fight for what do refs say?
And sinking pays off 2-1. It's a good lift. He definitely wants to rank higher than some of the open lifters in today's session.
Weight now goes up to 145 kilos for Les.
What points are we using for overall best overall now?
IPFGL points.
Good lift points.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Chris Kennedy is the current front runner at the Auckland Champs on IPFGL points. He pipped Tim Monagatti at the post by totaling 755 at just below 74 kgs body weight on Friday evening. All right, here we have Les with 145. What's he moved up? A 7.5 kg jump from his second. He's pushing it. Not enough juice in there today, sadly.
Unfortunate there for Les.
Speaking of juice, we've had the drug testers here all weekend
5 kilos for Hamish.
testing our athletes. Well, we've not had them here. They've chosen to come here.
Car is loaded. Let's go ahead.
All right. Hamish Smith moves up 5 kgs to 147.5. This will be one to fight for, but we know he wants this. And he's pushing it up. He's pushing it up. He's pushing it up. He needs to lock those elbows. And it's just out of reach today. Definitely won't be happy with that. It would have been there on any other day.
Weight now goes into 106.
Joel, for someone that has moved up multiple weight class, maybe you and Jack could give us some thoughts on how do you feel about moving up weight classes? Do you see your gains going up?
I think when talking about moving up weight classes, the thing you need to consider is time. And I would suggest to anyone looking at doing it, don't make it a fast change. You want to build as much lean mass as possible. Even if you put on fat, you'll inevitably get good gains, but if more of your gains are muscle than fat, your long-term gains will be better.
I 100% agree with that. When I first went up to 83s, my lifts did not go up at all. Like,
Pushing 160, and unfortunately fails to lock that out.
Good fight.
my lifts pretty much did not go up at all, apart from my squat, which probably just gone up through getting fatter. My deadlift leverage has changed. I didn't know how to deadlift anymore, and my bench kind of stayed the same. So yeah, definitely give it time. And I've only noticed maybe within the last year or two that I've actually started reaping the gains of going up to a weight class.
You got to be smart, but cut as much as you can to get down to the weight class below you to begin with, as a weight cutter would say. All right, Binney with 160 on his second go around. Got his feet flat sooner in this lift. And unfortunately, the holds have taken it out of him today.
Sean Kingston.
All right, 3 more benches in the 105 session. Now, due to Leo missing before, the door has swung open for Aaron to take the Auckland 105 kg bench record with 175 kilograms. 3 reds. Let's go, Aaron. 175 moved pretty well. He needs to bank as much now as he can to stave off Leo in the deadlifts. He's a fast press goal. He rockets us off his chest. Could go either way. It's 2-1. He misses, possibly lifting of the buttocks from the bench.
Right now the door has swung right open again for Leo to take the record. And remember,
Yeah, we want to talk about Leo.
we only talk about the Auckland people here.
Sean Winters with a second go at 185. Apparently his buttocks lifted off the bench press in his second attempt. We know he's got the strength, but he needs to push the bar back and muscle through.
What did Maui bench? 185?
Maui bench 185. He's pushing it, and unfortunately nothing left after that second attempt.
Not quite there on the day. Good effort. Weight stays at 185 kilos now for Leo. Look at the score sheet. Looking for a second crack at the Auckland.
It's an absolute bloodbath on the score sheet, if you're all watching.
12.5 kilos.
There's only one person making a third attempt.
Alright. One person out of the in the open 105s has made their third attempt. There's been 2 scratches.
Will Leo be the second person to make it?
Again, Leo will want this. 185 kilograms on the bar. And he rockets up.
Easy work by me.
185. It's easy, but do the refs like it?
And he gets it.
That's 3 white lights.
3 white lights. Our centre ref was too eager for the button and she accidentally slipped and hit a red. A new Auckland record in the bench press.
4-year-old record. So I believe it.
And I guess Maui, you got your answer. 185 bench, same as yours, but at a lighter body weight probably. I'm not sure what you weighed in. So
No animosity in this live stream. Alright. We're moving on to the 120 and 120 plus kilogram lifters. Tommy Taylor opening with 100 kilograms again. How do we think this is going to go?
Is loaded 100 kilos on bar for Tommy Taylor.
He's weighing in at 110 kgs, I believe. Yeah, 10 kilograms under the weight class. I mean, personally, that sounds like a cut to the 105s.
but can he qualify for the 105?
No, unless he decides to go up to Northland next weekend. He's playing around with 100 kgs. This isn't the NFL Combine. I mean, he'd have to do reps if it was.
Can we please check the qualifying total for nationals, because we can definitely predict his deadlift then.
Brian Gonzalez up next, about to take 135 kilograms on the bench press.
He can get off. He can get the bench up, but can he get off the bench?
You'll notice Brian explaining to the centre spotter how to hand off. Now, if you're competing in a powerlifting competition and you want a handoff, please tell the centre spotter how you'd like it. It makes everybody's life much easier, and you'll be less disappointed when you get a bad one.
Easy press there.
Communication is key. Easy from Brian, 135.
For a big boy like Brian, really surprised to see a soft touch bench. So clearly some merit there.
Yes.
Very, very smooth benching. And now we have Kieran Scott with 145 kilos.
You remember Kieran, relatively new lifter, taking 262.5 on his third squat. Deep.
With
I might
textbook
add.
form. Let's see how he does with the bench.
145 opener on the bench. Now, Kieran will need every kg he's got here to stay ahead of the other fellows in the bench, with the smaller bench out of the 120 open class. He's being made to hold it. His heels must be up.
Let's go, Kieran. 15 seconds.
He's also wearing heel shoes. So even when you wear heel shoes, you might still have problem putting
You're
your heels
not
down.
immune.
Please do not wear chucks. I repeat, please do not wear chucks.
Solid press there from Kieran. 3 white lights. That was a good lift.
The only thing chucks does is they converse a message that your heels aren't down. Get it?
Alright, Sunny opening with 150.
Bar is loaded.
Sunny with the bench. Self lift off there. Doesn't get the start call. Gets it slightly late. Brings it down nice and controlled. Soft touch. Locks it out nice and easy. So one thing you realize is that there are lifters that would opt for a self lift off. And a lot of times it's because they find that the lift off from spotters can be inconsistent and it throws them off. So depending what you like. You do not need to take a lift off.
You opt for a self lift off or a handoff?
I get a hand off because I find like it's easier for me to set my shoulders. But it does have its downside sometimes if you get a really bad hand off, which I've seen in comp where the spotters just dump the bar on you.
Oh, yeah.
And Seb Mclaren has just weighed in, chucks over heels.
Why? How heavy does he weigh?
No,
Oh, you mean that
weight
kind of
was
Seb, feel free to tell you how much you weighed this morning. Yeah.
And Paul, known for his bench, going for 160 bench. Very, very smooth bench.
It's a last warm up.
Exactly like a squat.
All right, who do we have next? Alan with a 167.5 kg opener. No one has missed so far in this round.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Alan.
Bar is loaded for Alan. It looks like a tall boy. Arms are long as well. So he had a long squat range of motion, maybe a long bench range of motion as well. But remember that long arms will help when it's time to deadlift. Is your max grip?
It's max grip, but it doesn't look like max grip.
Got to watch out for the elbows on those safeties.
Yes.
There's a long-limbed
That's
bencher.
what Angus Blair, he used to tell me to remove
Yeah.
the safeties because you were open.
Elbow's not locked.
I would say no, heels aren't down. You can just see some daylight creeping through there from the single.
Jenna really makes them hold the bar for like so long.
Now, interestingly, with having to hold the bar and re-rack it, if you have a really elaborate setup and it takes a while, and you have to replace the bar, it can.
Time out.
Yeah, you're at far greater risk of timing out. Anyway, Alan gets it. 2-1. One yellow on the side, I believe, for either heels or butt coming up.
He dodges the safety because he tucks it a little bit. If he flared, I think he would hit the safety.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, this is just heating up, guys. Next, we have David Bell with a massive 170 kg bench. This man was born after the turn of the millennium.
He's a zoomer.
He's a zoomer. Who do you think would have won today? Terry, David, or Seb, had he not have pulled out due to injury?
Easy looking press there for David. 2-1.
Big bench by David.
And a big bench from David.
Fingers up to 182.
Here we go, Mr. President Paul Clark.
Bigger bench by Paul.
Paul Clark opening with 182.5. Now, Paul needs to get as far ahead on the bench as possible due to having a smaller squat compared to the other 120s. We've seen Paul bench 195 before. We know he's chasing 200, so hopefully he'll be having a good day. He is weighing a light 117 kgs, mind you.
So, as a big bencher like Paul, do you prefer taking small jumps as well? Or slightly bigger jumps?
Moderate jumps. I mean, it's all about the percentage, right?
Well, that's what I thought too, but someone like Lee doesn't think so. Lee likes to take 5 kilo
And
jumps.
Paul
regardless.
destroys 400 pounds on the bench press. It's going to be a good day for him.
Someone like Lee, benching around 165. Like
Lee Hujak,
Mr. Powerlifting accountant.
centre spotter, powerlifting accountant, 93 kg, runner up,
Runner-up.
Lee McLeod.
You know he's an
Second
account.
go-getter.
You know he's an accountant when he's wearing a gold watch to spot.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Well, I would say as an accountant, accountants would typically be less frivolous with their spending and buy less nice things. So perhaps it is a fake gold watch.
Maybe.
Anyway,
Hey guys, Terry's got
moving on to
195
Terry.
on the bar.
195 on the bar. We know he's good for 220 plus, so this should be merely a formality to get runs on the board.
It's a Senki boy.
And he gets it with ease. 195.
Before I knew who Terry was, I saw him at the gym, just in the corner, 4 plates aside, and he benched 10. And I was like, what is going on right now? I just dropped what I was doing, and I was like, what is happening?
Yeah. Who can rep that I can't conceive of lifting?
The perfect ratio of squat, bench, and deadlift. 1 to 1 to 1.
He really is doing what?
So it sounds like he's going for the golden ratio, if you will, of powerlifting, a 1-1-1 squat, bench, and deadlift.
Good feng shui.
The referees have just told him to take his thumb loops off his wrist wraps. You're not allowed to lift with the thumb loops still on your wrist wraps. Unfortunately, we don't have anyone telling them to take them off today. And it's a good lift for Tommy. All right. Up next, we have Brian Gonzalez moving up to 145 kilograms.
Is that a testing boy?
Yeah.
That is a testing boy. Testing boys are in the house. I can smell them from a mile away.
All right. Brian approaches the platform with 145. Not mucking around today. This should be easy for Brian.
Soft touch.
Rockets off his chest. He'll be good for over 150. 155 next for Kieran Scott with a 10 kg jump from his opener.
Bar is loaded.
I'll post it.
Bar is
What
loaded.
did you bet on? You picked 147.
All right. Here we have Sani moving up to 160 kgs from his opener of 150, a 10 kg jump. And a light touch from Sani. Gets the press command fast. Nice and smooth 160.
Ben should be looking good. He did 3 warm-ups last night in the bench only competition. Weight goes up to 180 kilos now for Paul.
Paul Gatch. M2 lifter with a 20 kg jump to 180.
People with the name Paul seems to be benching big. change my name to Paul Kwan, maybe. Maybe that will help my bench.
Paul Kwan. You can legally do that, Kedrick.
Not getting a call, not getting a start command.
What do we think's going on here? He needs to flatten his heels. These refs are taking no prisoners today.
Okay, it's just standard practice to make everyone break the bar.
Got to practice how you play. But clearly Paul plays with 180 a lot.
That's a good one. Weight stays at 180 kilos now for
Alright,
David Bell.
180 still on the bar for David Bell, moving up 10 kgs.
Bar is loaded.
I think he's going to make this thing fly.
Yeah. David is Mr. RPE5, so Mr. Squat, Mr. RPE5. And what's gone wrong there? 170 was a cakewalk. Not there with 180 today.
Weight goes up to 182.5 kilos for
I
Alan
certainly
Wright.
ate my words there.
And there is a small dog in the house.
It looks like a whippet.
A whippet.
Right, Mr. Allen.
Alright,
182.5.
Alan Postlewaite with a 15 kilogram jump on bench. Some would say a risky move. He gets a fast press call. The bar dips in the middle though, and he loses focus there, and unfortunately fails that one. He'll need to nail that on his third to stay in contention.
190 kilos for Paul Clark.
Alright, moving up to the last lifter in the 120 kg weight class, Paul Clark with a 7.5 kg jump to 190. It seems he's not going to go for 200 today.
Bar is loaded.
Instead, play it safe, get some runs on the board, and hopefully walk away with a gold medal.
Paul has bench 195 in the gym many times, so this shouldn't be an issue.
If 182 is anything to go by, this should be pretty good.
So he's not going to be chasing that 200 in.
Supported by brother and coach Jason Clark. And it flies off his chest.
Very smooth press there for Paul.
You'll notice Paul doesn't have any issues getting his start command normally because his back is flat and his feet are flat.
5 kilos from Daryn.
Rumor has it, he feed up benches almost the same as his regular bench.
That's the rumors are true. All right, our first 200 kg plus bench. Terry with 205 kilograms.
Is this the biggest bench so far all
I believe
competition?
this is the biggest bench of the competition so far. Rockets up! Strong triceps connecting off the chest to the top of the movement. He's happy. Surely he'll go for 215
A
next.
lot more in the tank.
And a lovely little cuddle for his hand right at the end.
Imagine not missing lifts in your first competition.
Weight now goes up to
Must have a good coach
52.5 kilos for Tommy Taylor going into our third attempt.
in his corner. Yep, 215. He's going for 215.
215, his coach tells us.
Competition.
Tommy Taylor taking 152, going for that golden ratio.
Just let out a yawn. Looks like it's going to be easy for him.
I've heard rumours this guy plays with 220, so it should be easy. A smooth 152.5 from Tommy. Alright, moving on, we have Brian Gonzalez moving up 10 kilograms to 120 plus.
Bar is loaded.
I'm not sure if based on this music I'm at the Auckland Powerlifting Champs or Neck of the Woods.
Neck of the woods.
F's in the chat for Jamie King.
Easy work.
Easy third for Brian. Clearly this competition is merely a formality for him.
Weight goes up to 160 kilos now for Kieran. Bar is loaded.
Cheers to Warren. Oh, appropriate that Warren would be commenting, creeping up on JPK in the lead up to Nationals. And just a bit too much for Kieran today.
Unfortunate for Kieran. Good save there by the spoilers. Good effort.
He's 5 out of 6 so far.
73 kilos for Sonny.
Moving on to Sani with a Masters 1 record, 173 kilograms.
Wow.
Got Auckland Masters 1 bench record.
That's incredible.
There's some big benching going on. So for those of you that do not know, whenever a chip is taken, the spotters and loaders would have to show the chips to the refs.
When Kedrick says chips, he means 0.25 kg or 0.5 kg weights.
Actually, he means Doritos.
Not Doritos.
Bar is loaded.
Go, Sonny! For a self lift off.
He's opting for a self lift off. A lot of lifters have come out of lockdown with the preference of a self lift off, not having to rely on anyone else. Light touch on the chest, presses back, and unfortunately not meant to be today. After a bit of training and whatnot, he'll come back and nail that at Nationals.
Weight goes to 180 kilos now for David Bell.
Alright, David Bell about to take his second go at 180 kilograms.
Looking to come back after missing it on the second snatch on the
The other side.
And one of our commentators has just run off
bar is loaded.
to go get some water. There he is. Alright, let's go, David. We know he's got enough to get this. And he
Gets
puts
it up,
it on the
fights it,
chest and he
and he
comes
finished.
back. What a comeback. Much better than his second. Unfortunately, 2-1. Not sure what went on there.
He missed the start call.
Missed the start call. Alright, back to the 120 boys. Alan Postlethwaite with 182, which he missed on his second due to strength, or it could have been a misscrew. He'll really, really want this. He needs every kg to stay in first place in the 120s.
Really? Are they, I mean, I assume he's the better deadlifter out of all of them. Or no?
No deadlift nominated at the moment.
No deadlift nominated? You can have a 0 kilo opener? Is that a thing?
They just haven't put it in. Not getting the start command.
Not looking good.
That'll be taxing.
And again.
5 seconds.
I don't think he's going to get this one. He's timed out.
Unfortunately, Alan has timed out.
And unfortunately, he's timed out as he hasn't been able to get his feet flat.
People rolling on the floor, could not get a start call.
Big boy Paul
It
Clark.
goes up to 109.
You really hate to see that happen, eh? To not even get the chance to,
Show his strength.
yeah.
Happens to the best of us. Alright, Paul Clark moving up to 195. Playing it safe, some would say. He's benched this before in training and maybe at a fun end of year competition. He wants to make it official though and get as far ahead as possible. Let's go, Paul!
Let's go!
And it rockets off his chest. He just needs to push the rock out. And it looks like he's got it. 3 whites for Paul Clark.
He'll be ecstatic with that one.
He'll be happy about that. The last time he benched that, he weighed well over 120 kgs.
Is that a comp PR?
It's a comp PR.
It is a comp PR.
Yeah.
For another pull.
Now bench king Paul Gatch
Oh, he's
coming in with 200, a 20 kilogram jump, no big deal.
DTF approved.
Wow. 20 kilos from the first to the second, 20 kilos from the second to the third. That's a total of 40 kilos. 20% increase. I hope my math is right.
25% up, 20% down.
I'm confused now. I'm sorry. But my math actually isn't good at all.
Quick maths.
But here we go. 200 kilos. Gets the start call. Brings it down. Press it ups.
Yes, push. And he has
And he
the
gets it
tries
out.
to lock that out.
What does the ref say?
Yes, and he gets it.
Very, very well done.
Well deserved right there.
All right, we move on to the final bench of the competition.
Covering 40 kilos from your first to second attempt. First to last attempt, sorry.
On the
Big
bench.
Terry about to take 215 kgs. Let's hope our spotters are ready.
Why? He's going to absolutely destroy it.
Yeah, no, I thought that as soon as we said it. He needs a break beat.
Let's go!
To lock it out. And what do the referees say? 2 white lights for Terry with a 215 kg bench.
Incredible bench press from there. Hits that sticking point.
Hugs his
Squeezes
coach.
triceps.
Covers his coach. You can't see the coach right now.
switch this, bro? How do you switch this?
Oh, I just missed it.
All right, we're going to leave you for 10 minutes as the boys
You enjoy
build
the sounds
up
of
for
Dimension in
the
background.
deadlifts. Make sure you share the stream.
Right, we're about to kick off the deadlifts.
Bar is loaded at 215 kilograms.
Bar is loaded for Putasi, 215 kgs. Little slow off the ground, but strong to lock out.
Easy looking on the right there. 3 white lights, good with the lift.
Welcome back to the stream. Remember, the deadlift is the one to watch. Even though Seb is not here and he usually has a massive pull, we have Terry,
Yes.
who was recently featured on King of the
To
Lifts.
fill his shoes. Fill his big shoes.
To fill his big shoes.
Seb wears big shoes.
Apparently, big Converse.
All right, so it's clear to see that Sean Winters is out in front as our guest lifter with if he gets his first deadlift, he'll have a 750 kg total. But more interestingly, Leo and Aaron are battling out for second place among the 105s. With Aaron having a far bigger deadlift than Leo, but obviously Leo having momentum on his side with this meet. All right, Hamish Smith rockets up 220 for his opener.
3 white lights, it's good with the lift.
Now, what is Aaron got as nominated deadlift?
270.
270, right. That's a big deadlift.
He does have a big deadlift.
Have you seen his training?
Yes, over 290, right? He's good for over 290.
Yep. I've seen him pull 300 with straps. Obviously, that's
Cheating.
cheating. That's not cheating. It's a different.
All right, Binney with 225 opener on the deadlift. Strong lockout there. And 2 of the 3 refs like it.
Ramping.
He's on the board.
He gets 1 blue for ramping.
It goes to 230 kilos for Sean.
All right.
Bar is loaded.
Sean King with a 230 kg opener. This will set him up for an over 600 kg total if he locks this in with 592.5 after the first deadlift. Sean's a strong deadlifter, he just needs to make sure not to ramp it. And it looks pretty clean from this angle. Nice and strong. 2 to 1, he gets it. A red light for shoulders not looking up. It's all about angles though,
235 kilos now for Glenn.
Just like all photos.
just like photos. A lot of get street lifters in this fight, 4 in fact. That's in the opens alone. Alright, Glenn. I know deadlift's definitely not his favourite lift, but 235 looks pretty good as an opener.
He was a very long person, very large range of motion.
240 kilos up for Leo.
Alright. This is where we'll get a gauge of how things are going to wind up. Leo opening with 240. So far, every single one of his lifts have been easy. So we're keen to see how this winds up.
Historically not known for a good deadlift, but we'll see how this increase in weight has helped him out.
Interestingly, deadlifts don't often go up as much when weight goes up. As Jack alluded to earlier, leverages change. Strong opening attempt. Not the speed we've seen from his others.
He looks like he's a little bit hurt.
looks like something's happened there. Maybe feeling a little faint.
Help him out, Jerry,
Nope.
man.
Perhaps tear of something, cramping.
I think it's just cramping.
Cramping while going up a weight class. See, it affects the best of us. Right, moving on, we've got Les opening with 245. He pulls usually over 270 kgs.
Depending on how much hype he has.
Yep, depending on how much hype he's eaten.
Bar is loaded.
Go, Les!
Les with a beautiful opener with 245.
It's alright, lads. Good lift. Weight goes up to 250 kilos.
Good to see Mr. Daryn back.
Daryn coming back after a bit of a shoulder injury.
The old 50 kilo bench.
Hopefully he can salvage something on the deads today.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Daryn.
Let's go, Daryn.
Why is Daryn lifting for Gatch strength when he clearly lives in the North Shore?
I think he's having a bit of a crisis.
He is actually my neighbour.
Daryn opting into lift with knee sleeves for his deadlift.
Strong pull there from Daryn. All the rest after that.
And it looked pretty good from this angle. Bit unorthodox lifting in knee sleeves.
Weight stays at 250 kilos. While
It is hot in this room with so many people packed in here.
I thought you were going to say that because of me, but okay.
With Jack, no. Some may say. Alright, on to Edwin.
First sumo pull of this one.
Solid pull there from Edwin.
And a beautiful opener for Edwin.
Weight goes to 270 kilos now for Daryn Hill.
Alright, next up we got 270 for Aaron. Followed by Sean with 290. So very big openers here.
Bar is loaded. Go, Aaron.
Daryn opening with 270. Oh, a bit rocky at the lockout, but other than that it looks pretty good. You'll need to watch those shoulders on subsequent attempts. Yep, and one referee had given him the red.
It normally is the overhand arm shoulder that appears not to be locked.
Yeah.
Weight goes up to 290
Back when we were allowed to not wear t-shirts on the deadlifts, you'd often see lifters with prominent front delts get red lights for their deadlifts because it appeared that they hadn't locked out because their front deltoids
Just
were
popping out so
Yeah.
much.
So I'd always say to people, wear a t-shirt regardless of if you have the option not to. No matter how big and jacked you look.
Is that why the Russians wear knee sleeves?
Hide them.
To hide their soft knees?
To be honest,
Well,
it
to be
would.
honest, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Alright, on to Sean Winters. 280 kilogram opener. We know he's good for well over 300. $290 kilogram opener, sorry. And check that lockout out. Incredible.
That was so good.
We now go on to our second attempt.
And that locks in a 750 kg total for Sean.
5 kilos on the bar.
All right, back to the top of the round. We have Putasi with 225 kilograms.
Bar is loaded.
Sumo lifters need to make sure they're wedged in to get the lift. Slow off the ground, but a strong look out there. Using the hook grip, 225 kgs hanging off just his thumbs.
Weight goes up to 235 kilos.
You ever pulled hook grip before, John?
Yes, and I couldn't even pull 200.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Not
I
a good time. Just
am,
for the pain?
I'm soft.
For the pain?
Yeah. And my thumb's ripped. All right, 235 for Hamish. This will be a competition PB for Hamish. 220 moved good, a big jump. I'm pretty confident in his abilities. I've seen him pull this in training. And it looks good.
No issues there, no issues there.
Load up 240 plus.
It seems like Hamish likes the color pink. Really color coordinated on the pink belt, pink
He does.
laces.
Stays at 235 kilos. Binney.
All right, Binney up next.
The old Mitchell.
10 kilogram jump.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Binney.
He's got the face of determination.
Strong looking pull.
I think it looked pretty good. And 2-1 he gets it. Getting more from side referee Rory. Saying called for ramping on one
He's
side.
getting a call for ramping, but I think it's his legs are just too big and they're just dragging up
Problem
there.
with having big legs.
That's why you call sumo.
That's why you pull so much. All right.
And Sean runs out there.
Sean King approaches the bar. 245. I think this will be a competition PB if he gets it. And it looks pretty good from this angle. And he gets 3 white lights. Sean will be absolutely wrapped with that, and that gives him an over 600 kilogram total.
250 kilos now for Khaled.
It almost looked like he finished the lift with his lower body, and then he finished like his lower body finished the lift, and then he just rolled his
Bar
shoulders
is
back at the top to
loaded.
finish it off.
Yeah.
Let's go, Glenn.
Alright, we got Glenn.
All right.
What has he got?
Glenn moving up to 250. A 15 kilogram jump from his first. And he has failed to put his singlet on.
Oh, let's not look at him.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. We've just seen Sean Winters has put in a 307.5 kg deadlift for his second attempt. He's sending warning shots for nationals. Stuck on the thighs, but he pulls through nicely. 250 for Glenn. I'd say they're going to give him whites. 3 white lights. He'll need to play it smart for his third.
I don't know if you probably can't see it from that angle, but since he's a very long lifter, he opts to start with a rounded upper back in order to get a better position, so he can get a lot better leg drive from the ground. And then he has to finish off by straightening out his back at the top.
The typical Veronica Manning style.
Veronica Manning, yep.
And Leo is back out, even though he needed help off the platform. He's back.
This
See,
man's
he
determined.
wants more.
Moving up to 250 from his opener of 240. He wants to bank some kgs. It's going to be tough lockout. but he grinds through. This man's
I think
determined.
he's got it.
I would say that's good. 2-1, he gets it. One referee says he hasn't either locked his knees
He
or
wants to make
shoulders.
a name for himself today.
If you notice his left elbow, he can't lock it out and it's banned right at the top because of an elbow injury.
That gets Leo a 697.5 kg total, tantalizingly close to 700.
Do you think he will go for the extra 5 kilos to exceed 700?
I think if he's
nothing-
got
he's
someone
got
good in
nothing
his
to lose.
corner, he'll base this off of how Aaron's second attempt moves. Anyway, on to Les. 260 on the bar. Strong lockout there.
Very strong pull.
I really like Les's conventional.
The grip and rip stay
Grip
tight.
and rips, maintains position, and it accelerates as it goes up. Alright, next up we have 260 for Daryn, is that right? Yep.
Yep, a 10 kilogram jump for Daryn. I'm not sure if he's deadlifted over 270, so we'll see how this goes. Go Daryn!
Let's go!
And looking strong with
Very
260.
comfortable there.
Very steady, very consistent speed. Locks it out nice and easy.
Here we have Kevin Strachan on the camera, handing in his attempt. Shout out to our sponsors for this event. Loaded Lifting, exclusive suppliers of A7. Use discount code NSBB for 10% off. Raise Lower, exclusive suppliers of SBD in New Zealand. And Musashi for banned substance tested supplements available at most supermarkets.
Why don't you shill in my discount code for his lower?
What am I going to shill? You don't have a discount
I
code.
do, it's Jack 10 and it's 5% off.
Use Jack10 at raiselower.com for 5% off.
It's not good.
.co.nz, don't go to .com. Anyway, Edwin with 600 pounds on the bar, 272.5. Again, like I said earlier, known for his big jumps. This will put him in 4th out of all of the 105 kg competitors. And a strong lookout from Edwin.
Lock that one.
I'd say that's pretty good. 3 whites for Edwin.
And here we have Aaron Hills trying to push for that first place finish over Leo.
Alright, so this will get Aaron a 690 kg prognosis.
Still 7.5 off Leo. No,
Yeah.
he needs to beat
In
Leo.
actual results at the moment, he is 25 kilograms behind Leo, but this is a 17.5 kg jump, so we can't rule him out.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Aaron.
If he doesn't get this, I think it's fair to say it's game over.
However, I do think for someone who's competing for at his first Auckland Champs, really good total so far.
Super impressive lifting.
Super impressive. Pause squat his first attempt.
Slow off the ground. What's going
Patient off the bar. Fights it.
Doesn't look like he's got enough there, sadly, today. He'll come back with some more aggression for his third.
He's going to go back, rethink about how he's going to approach it, and have one more crack at it.
Weight now goes up to 307.5 kilos for Sean Winters.
307.5 for Sean Winters. He skipped 666.
Gino's favorite number.
No one cares about pounds anyway. Sean Winters, ex-rival of Warren Ruff, who did a phenomenal total yesterday, 750 and 93.
Sean.
something in the water with GS. Who is
Alright.
Ho?
Let's go, Sean. 290 was easy. Let's see how he goes with this. Pulls it off the ground and it. Easy lockout, but the grip.
I think it's the first miss we've seen on grip.
It is in this session.
Would you say that Sean Winters knew that he has a grip problem, seeing how he was wearing wrist wraps going into the deadlift?
People often do try address it with wrist wraps, making the lifter tighten their grip.
Have you tried it yourself?
I have not.
I have not either.
I've not tried it.
But Maria Hiti at Worlds last year came back with a massive third deadlift to take away the number 1 spot from Megan Scandon after missing the second deadlift on grip.
True.
And then she wrapped her wrist with wrist wraps for the third deadlift.
Alright, back to the top of the round. Who we got attempting 235 kilograms? Potassi up 10 kilograms from his second.
Fantastic with the sumo hook grip. Respectable fight there. It was moving very, very slowly, but he stayed patient with it, got it moving.
As a former sumo puller, what are your thoughts, Joe, on switching to conventional, and what differences do you find between conventional and sumo?
Before I lifted yesterday, I would have said conventional is easier to not screw up. But I found out yesterday that you can misgroove a conventional deadlift. Anywho, I think it differs from person to person. I prefer conventional. There's less bullshit, and arguably better for hypertrophy of the back.
So you prefer it now? You're gonna.
Well, it's even kill for me.
Right.
I'll at least give it a year.
What's the name? Tim Thibodeau.
Huh?
Are you Tim Thibodeau?
Yes, but bigger and weaker. All right, let's go, Binney. Going for 240 on his final, up 5 kgs from his second. Too much for today, sadly. Still not a bad day from Binney.
No, not at all.
Goes up to 245 kilos.
I think that's his first Auckland champs as well. So.
Yep.
Big potential there. Just look at
All
the
right.
size of his legs.
Hamish moving up 10 kgs to 245. This will represent a 12.5 kg competition personal best.
He's jumping for.
If you look at the stream behind, you see Sean King hyping Hamish up.
This is actually a pull for 6th
The
place.
North Shore Barbell boys giving each other some love. He's representing Lincoln and Christchurch.
Right, this is a pull to beat Putasi for 6th place.
He wants that. I think he's got it. He just can't get it back. He needs a more boost. Don't rip and
So close.
Emotions are everywhere.
Just missed.
Brilliant fight by him.
Weight goes up to 250.
Now what you'll notice is that he eventually lost it on grip. And you know, the longer your rep is, the more demands you're going to have on your grip. So if he could have finished it earlier.
Unless
maybe
you
he
got
would've
someone that iron grip. I won't go there. Anyway.
I know where you're going with that one.
Alright, Glenn, 255. 250 wasn't exactly easy, but he's going to give this a go, and the hype of the competition can sometimes pull you through.
Go, Glenn!
He's got to push those hips through. He's got the grip. The shoulders are back. What do the refs say? 2-1, he gets it. One ref saying he didn't lock his knees. Who cares? It's about 2.
He had a long rep there too, but like you said, he's got the iron grip.
That is a very impressive pull, seeing how tall he is, what big range of motion he has.
All right. Sean King going for 255. Now, Sean lifted 252.5 once at last year's Nationals, but was called for ramping. That's been a problem that's plagued him for a while. He has addressed it in recent days. His best pull in training is 250. This man thrives off hype, and he's going for this monumentous 255. Yes, needs to get. He's locked the knees. He pushes the hips through. I think it's good. He's got that power hold going on. Telling everybody who's boss. Let's hope he doesn't get reds.
Got the freedom hold going on there.
3 whites for Sean King.
And he's going to be happy with that one.
That goes to 262.5 kilos for Leo.
Now, even though Sean and Binney aren't in the same age class, that pull was to actually beat him.
Beat Binney.
Yeah. Wow.
We love this. Now, age classes are fine, but don't be ignorant to those around you. If you've got 20 lifters in your weight class, you might be in the Masters 1, you might be in sub-juniors. You want to be looking to beat as many people as possible. Make this sport as competitive as possible.
Leo really wants more. Even though he kind of has sealed the victory, he's coming back for more.
So Leo sealed the silver, or gold if you look at it from just Auckland's. This will be for a 710 kilogram total. It's going to be a grind through. Just too much. 7 for 9 day from Leo.
Look at his arm, dude.
Weight goes up to a clean 270 kilos for Big Dazzler.
Alright, move on to APA Perez Daryn. Not having the best day in lieu of some interesting squats and a shoulder injury on bench.
So he's been here helping run the desk every single day.
This man has been here from dusk till dawn every single day.
For the last 10 years.
Yeah, since he became president.
Bar is
loaded for Daryn.
Come on, Daryn.
Let's go! Yours, Daryn, come on!
They get a pretty easy 270.
Daryn is a policeman, but he just committed a crime for moving his third attempt that quickly. That was some really amazing lifting so far.
Look what we got on the bar. 271 for Les. That's a
He's going for a record.
A Masters 2 record.
For a hype, man.
2, yeah. 271 kilos, just shy of 600 pounds, but we don't care about those units here in New Zealand. Judging from the speed of his previous attempts, he's got a really, really good shot at this.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Les.
He's got it. He knows he's got it. Who turns their neck when they're deadlifting? This man does.
That's a new Masters 2 record for Les.
Not sure who he was staring down.
Nodding his head.
As soon as I left the ground, he's like, I got this. Oh,
Right. Two deadlifts left in this sesh. Three. Who have we got now? Edwin, then Aaron, then Sean. Now Edwin is going for 283 kgs to lock in an Auckland Masters 1 deadlift record. Of course, the New Zealand Masters 1 record held by, his name escapes me, Andy from down south. Andy Mann. Spotters and loaders making sure the bar is clean for Edwin. Let's go, Edwin! He wants this. He's going to have to grind. Check out all the people watching from behind the screens. He was falling forward at the end, but what did the referees say?
he's got the lift. He's so happy with that one. And he deserves it for sure.
Excellent lifting there from
He
Edwin.
has really strong legs. Yes. He just needs to work on his bench. I think I'll be like him, dude. I just can't bench.
I think we all are, bro.
Proves you don't need bench sometimes. Alright. Aaron looking to repeat his second attempt. He is in third with unfortunately no hope of moving up unless he chooses to go for 297 kilograms.
Yep, but he's very comfortably in third, and this is just the builder's total.
Yep.
I remember seeing Aaron compete at his first novice com, and all the reps were like, wow, who is this guy? Massive potential. Somebody to definitely look for in the future. Mind you, the novice com was less than 6 months ago.
Let's go, Aaron.
Let's go, Aaron!
287.5. I believe this will be a comp PB. And he's gonna lock it out. Does he have the shoulders back? 2-1. He gets the lift. Excellent show there from
What an
Aaron.
absolute comeback there.
We now have the last deadlift of this flight.
Last deadlift of the 105s. Sean went his second go at 307.5.
That's incredible. I don't know what John told him in the back room, but he went in, adjusted, and he freaking got it, man.
Yeah.
Because he struggled on the second, big time.
Yeah. It's like you yesterday.
The comeback kid.
Sean Winters taking off his wrist wraps now.
Took it off.
Yeah, he took it off.
I thought it was supposed to help.
Maybe he threw him off.
Science. Is that bro science? Is that real science or bro science?
Bro science.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Sean.
He's up to chalk his hands with
Turn the
extra
camera
chalk.
back. Sorry to those of you watching with the camera not changed back to the primary view.
Oh, did it not
Anywho.
see Aaron's deadlift?
No. Anywho, Sean about to take 307.5 for a ride. And grip once again.
Gets so much speed off the ground, and it looks like it's gonna finish, but then it goes. I think that truly is a grip weakness there.
Yes, I definitely think it's a grip weakness.
it's good to know that he has the strength and the grip is something he has to work on.
I mean, if he's strapped up, he could pull way more. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, we know a lot of lifters that can pull a lot of straps, especially on the Instagram. Not gonna mention names.
Joe Lada.
I didn't even catch that banter. All right.
I don't even think I've seen you use straps before.
No, I don't really use them.
But his name rhymes with Picky Ho. The person that can pull more with straps, his name rhymes with Picky Ho. Ricky Cho.
All right. Tommy Taylor capping off the 1-1-1 ratio with a 152 kg deadlift. Very casual.
Good job. Almost there. So good.
We were fighting. All right, Paul Gatch with an easy 160 opener.
For those of you that have not tuned in, or your friends have not tuned in, this is the moment. We're gonna see some really massive pulls. Look out for Terry. He's gonna pull something big. Send the links out to your friends, family, grandparents, all of them. Get them to tune in.
Send it to King of the Lifts.
All right, let's play a game. Whoever can get the biggest celebrity on the stream gets a free North Shore Barbell t-shirt.
Oh, here we go. All right. Does Testament count?
Actual celebrities only. Brian Gonzalez steps up to the bar with 205 kgs loaded, same as his squat opener.
I think it's a full beltless.
Yep, it's full beltless for that one. 2 reds to begin with. I believe his knees weren't locked.
Rory looks like he's having a bad time. I mean, he's okay.
He looks like he's having a good time.
You actually have it on replay.
Hey?
Is this actually on replay?
Yeah, it's delayed. It's like looking into the past.
I'm like, what?
Alright, Sonny's got 210.
All right, Sunny opening with a casual 210. Hopefully casual.
Should be smoking this.
And it's a good lift for Sunny. All right, Paul Clark. Now, a bit of a battle going on in the 120s between Paul, Kieran and Alan. Alan opening with the biggest deadlift, but so far he's missed a few lifts, whereas Paul has gone 6 for 6. So I'm sure Paul and Jason, his coach, are just watching to see what happens and keeping an eye on what the other fellas pull. And this 240 will be merely a formality on the way to a big total.
Can't remember the last time I saw Paul wear long socks.
He's wearing his rugby league club socks, and he rockets up 240.
Wow.
That's the fastest I've seen him pull that.
We know he wants at least 260 today, but I'd say more's there. All right. On to the next. We have
The old dark horse here.
Kieran the Dark Horse Scott. So this would put him just behind Paul's current total if he gets it 5 kgs behind. He is the lighter lifter, however. So anything can happen. We've seen Kieran take some big jumps today so far, so I'd expect for him to jump up to around 260 after this, provided it's easy. And I'm not sure
his
about the
shoulders
lockout
were
there
locked
with the shoulders back. No, the refs agree with us. 2-1. I'd say the man's strong enough to come back and get that. You've just really got to push those hips through and sit back. Sometimes you could consider it a bit of an optical illusion. Alright, on to David Bell, Mr. Squat, with the 250 kg opener. Not known for his deadlifts, but 250 kgs is good by anyone's account.
Yeah, that's true. If you're opening on 250, no one's going to call you a bad deadlifter.
No.
Bar is loaded.
I'm not sure if he got the knees through there. 2-1.
Same again. It is really hard when you have legs that big, you know.
Would you like to maybe brief our lifters, our viewers, why the bigger lifters seem to have a harder time deadlifting, even though they can squat way more?
Oh, really?
And he's leaving, and I had to run out there, and I was like, bro, you need 512.5. So he's going to come.
What does he need to pull? What does he need to pull?
Sorry, some drama here.
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
It sounds like Tommy Taylor, who just wanted to qualify for nationals, has seen perhaps the wrong numbers and has run back into the building to make sure he puts in another attempt for his deadlifts. He'll need to do it on his third, however. Anyway, Alan Postlewaite with 265 kg opener, which will give him over 700 kgs on his total if he gets this. And it's pretty bloody easy.
Easy pull there for Alan.
3 whites for Alan. Awesome first attempt. And our next lifter, the biggest deadlift, no, not the biggest deadlift of the competition so far, because Warren pulled 320 yesterday. Interestingly enough, Warren Roth pulled 320 for an unofficial New Zealand record yesterday in the 93 kg class. At the same time in Christchurch, Jamie King was pulling 326 kilograms for an unofficial New Zealand record. Anyway, Terry with a 310 kg opener. Can you imagine lifting this, let alone opening with it? This will seal in the biggest total of the competition.
Now notice he's not wearing a belt because that's how he's been training for the last couple of weeks.
He says, let's go, and he's off. Let's go, Terry. Easy, Terry. And unfortunately, his grip's going. We know he's got the strength, but he'll need to sort that out.
Wow, that was.
Yeah, well, I did not expect that. No. He's pulled that and more than that many times in the gym. I don't doubt he can come back and hit that. He'll go and readjust.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but on the way up, you could see the bar slightly tilting towards the one side.
Right, yep.
So
maybe he stood up a little bit to the one side.
probably, like I've heard that some lifters sometimes they go really passive on the openers, not gripping the bar tight enough. That could be something, but we don't know. But we've seen what happened. People can tidy up. People can come back and hit
That's
it.
an interesting thing you mentioned. Do you have an active grip or a passive grip?
I think hook grip will always require the active grip, right? I think
I have a passive grip.
on hook grip.
No, I don't hook grip, I mixed grip. But it just sits in my fingers and I don't think of squeezing it at all.
And Paul takes 180 very casually. Puts it down incredibly gently.
Nice quick work of that.
No, I don't have an active grip, but I press against my fingers.
Yeah.
I don't like an active grip, but I feel like sometimes I twist in, then the range is long. I like to let it sit
Let it sit,
and tug against it.
Right, yeah, that's what I do too. Yeah. What about you, Joel?
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Do you actively squeeze the bar when you're deadlifting, when you're pulling? No, yeah, you have a passive grip as well.
Yeah. I think if I overthink it, I feel like that would hinder me more. I don't know why.
Brian retaking 205. There were 4 misses in that last flight. Looks a bit better this time.
Out there, for sure.
Strong pull there from Ryan. 3 wide line. Good.
Much stronger.
I think if you're gripping it in the palm of your hand, you need to squeeze and have an active grip. If you're doing a fingertip grip, you can let it sit.
It's funny because Chris Kennedy says that if he does a passive grip, he feels weak on the deadlift,
Right.
which is, yeah.
Different
Does
strokes.
he grip in the palm? He grips in the palm, yeah.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Sonny.
Right, let's go, Sonny.
Right, starting with 235.
A 25 kg jump from his first. Very upright. Not sure if he got the shoulders back there, but no, the refs think he did. 3 whites.
Have you seen this?
What was it?
337
What was it?
near miss for Jamal Royster. 337.5.
Oh, come on. Come on.
He's not Joe Ladder,
Oh, he's not the ladder.
but he's also almost 100. Is it 100 kilos more?
Yeah, 100 kgs more. For those of you who are listening and are unsure why Kedrick's yelling, he's watching videos on King of the Lifts angrily. All right, David Bell taking another go at 250 now. Both junior 120 plus lifters failed their first deadlifts.
This plus this equals this.
That's so weird. Come on, David, pull it through. Pull it through. Hold on.
And he's just edged it there.
Unfortunately, not.
Unfortunately, David couldn't quite walk it out.
Very tough position to be in. He's going to need his third attempt to register a total.
Look at his 325 though. Like, this was like ridiculous, really fast.
Bar is loaded.
He's not at 83 now. Sorry? We'll talk about it after. All right. Kieran missed his first deadlift, but he still moved up 7.5 kgs to 255.
See if he can adjust.
Here's the strength. Not sure if the lock, but no, he gets 3 whites.
On the board. There we go.
He needed that to pull back ahead of Paul Clark.
Weight stays at 255 kilos now for full bar.
All right, Paul jumping 15 kgs, sorry, to 255.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Paul. Come on.
We go jump 15.
15 kg jump. This should be pretty easy based on Paul's opener. And it is.
Smokes that one.
With the face of fear.
What's his deadlift here?
In comp, I believe it's 265.
Okay.
One right on the side with shoulder lifting, really lifting up to the top.
All right, up the weight on the bar goes. 280 for Alan Postlethwaite. Paul's competitor in the 120 kg class.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Alan.
Here he goes, taking 280 for a ride. Not fast, but it's smooth.
Very nice.
I'd say that qualifies as a good lift. 3 whites for Alan, and I would say that pushes him
I think that looks
somewhat out of reach.
Yeah.
310 kilos for Daryn. He needs his one to stay in
And-
the competition.
All right, 310 to stay in the comp. As Terry hasn't competed before, he needs this to qualify for nationals, unless he decides to go up to Northland next weekend and do their championships.
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here.
Put on that riff rap.
Right. Gary just needs to stay a little bit more composed, not get too over aroused for this. He knows he can do this. He's done this plenty of times in the gym before.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Terry.
Let's go!
Everyone's getting behind him. We know he has the strength. He just needs to hold on, pull it evenly, and he'll have this. And he knocks it out. What do the refs say? I'm not sure if the shoulders and knees were there. And 2-1, he misses it.
Not fully locked out at the top.
Better on the grip, but
He'll have one more chance to come back and get that
So
one.
was that shoulders and knees?
I would say one ref definitely gave it for shoulders. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what the centre ref gave it.
center was yellow, so could be anything.
Yellow.
Not observing the chief referee's signal, perhaps.
Deadlifts of the competition. And the last lifts of the competition. Starting us off, we have 200 kilos on ball.
Up and down movement.
Is it blue?
Yeah, I thought it was blue. Jump the down call.
Oh, they skipped it down.
Back to the top of the round. Paul Gatch opening with 200 kilograms.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Paul.
And a nice and easy finish with 200 kgs for Paul. He could have gone for the 1-1-1 bench squat ratio if he pulled his squat up by 40 kilograms.
And now we have Tommy Taylor returning back to the platform after almost leaving the competition venue. He thought the qualifying total was lower, but we believe he saw an outdated version. And now he's back, pulling what he needs to qualify. I think he'll get it.
Nail this one.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Tommy.
Bar is loaded for Tommy Taylor. Should get this quite easy. And finish strong.
Easy pull there for Tommy. Through highlights.
We really hope he did his math right this time.
What jump was that from the second to the
50
third?
kilograms.
50 kilograms.
Ryan Gonzalez.
That is ultra DTF approved.
So for all of the new viewers just tuning in, seeing these big boys lift some big weights, don't feel intimidated because these big giants are big. So these giants are actually like some of the nicest people I know. Don't be fooled by the weight. Powerlifting is not intimidating. If you're new, do sign up. It's a fun experience. We probably have a comp in November, so heaps of time to prep for that.
Get in contact with a club that's local to you if that's possible. You know, have a chat with some of the members.
That's the biggest one.
Bar is loaded. Let's go, Ryan.
Join Get Strength if you're south of the bridge. Join North Shore Barbell if you're north of the bridge. Enough said. Brian approaching the platform for his final pull of the day. 225 kgs, a 20 kilogram jump. This was clearly his planned third, and he just wants to send it and make sure he gets the ticket to nationals.
Much better lockout there. I think he's got
Much
this one.
better lockout from him. And he's ecstatic.
Jack, you were talking something just now about controlling the arousal. So for maybe Joel and Jack, for someone who doesn't really get aroused so much when they lift, why do you think that is important? Because technically more arousal, more hype, the better, isn't it?
I think some people leak energy by
Yep, definitely.
getting over-aroused.
It's definitely a waste of energy if you don't know how to control it. Also, if you're pulling sumo, it's very technical. It's very easy to, screw up your technique, misgroove, get out of position. Whereas conventional, for me personally, much less thinking, you can get more aroused and just pick it up. So yeah, it's a very give or take, and it depends on your personality type as well. It's all about managing the right amount of arousal for you.
All right, Sunny approaches the bar for 242.5 kgs, a 7.5 kg jump from his second attempt. And unfortunately, the bar was too heavy today.
But it's done very well for someone who hasn't trained very much.
All right, to David Bell with 250 now. David needs this to stay in the competition. I believe he might have already qualified for nationals at the Auckland Cup last year, but he needs this to post the total. Both junior 120 plus lifters have failed all of their deadlifts so far. The bar is loaded for David. He needs everyone's support.
Let's go, David! Let's go!
And unfortunately today is not going to be David's day.
Now, I don't want to jinx this, but what happens if both of them bomb?
No one gets medals, no one gets certificates. It is brutal.
Harry's putting on a belt now. He's putting on a belt.
So, as Kedrick has said, Terry's putting on a belt. He doesn't typically lift with one, but hopefully it'll give him that edge to allow him to quickly lock out the weight and seal his total.
Big shout out to our spotters and loaders for cleaning the bar, loading. Big shout out to the refs as well. Spotting and loading is a lot of hard work. If you feel like you don't want to compete in powerlifting, but you want to volunteer your time to help out, spotting and loading is a great way to do so. Right now, Kieran Scott back on the deadlift.
260 on the bar. This won't push him ahead of Paul, but might be a PB. And unfortunately, the bar was too heavy for Kieran on his final attempt today, but he did have a good day and has definitely got himself a ticket to Nationals 2020 in October in Christchurch this year. All right, Paul Clark moving up to what looks like 270 kilograms. That'll definitely be a big PB for Paul. He needs to not think and just rip it off the floor. This will seal a 700 kg total for Paul if he is successful. This will be, I think, a 5 kilogram personal best for Paul if he gets it.
Let's go, Paul!
He's going to send it and take 270 for a spin. He gets off the ground easily. And he knocks it out. Will his grip hold? It looks like it has. But what do the referees say about it? 2-1. Paul Clark is 270 kilograms. He's ecstatic.
Did you see how fast that moved?
What a great day for Paul, 9 for 9.
He's very happy with that.
Paul never shouts, never celebrates, and he says when he does, you know he's really happy. Wonderful day for Paul.
Yes. Have you posted about any
If this was not like a official thing, I'd probably say like eat ass pool sumo or something like that.
That's Maui, by the way.
If I can hear you say what you exactly just said.
You're gonna put yourself on mute.
We're not on mute. All right. Final 2 deadlifts of the day coming up.
Wow.
And of course, is this purple Lamborghini? Purple Lamborghini's up. Seb isn't here. Stan Conker's not here, but we're playing it anyway. Alan Postlewaite, 292.5. You see, I was 730 kg total. I think he's going to hit the space on a second. He just needs to rip it up and keep pulling. He's already got first in the 120s, and he wants to make it even bigger. A bit too heavy on the day.
We now have one more left. Alright. 310 kilos.
I'm pretty sure you guys will know this by now, but Terry absolutely leads this.
Alright. This is Terry needs your power. Put your hands in the air, just like Goku needed it to defeat Frieza.
Spirit bomb right now.
310 on the bar. He's trying a belt out for his deadlifts. Making sure the bar's clean. He just needs to hold on, lock the knees, get his shoulders back. He's definitely strong enough. The final deadlift of the competition. Here comes Terry. Let's go, Terry! Everyone's going up for him. Come on, Terry. We know you've got it. He's pulling! Can he lock it out? What do the refs say? I'm not sure. 2-1! He gets it! It's a monumental finish. Qualifying for 2020 NZPF Nationals. Wowee! What a finish! I think it was a pretty lucky call, but wow! Right.
Half a second more and he would have lost it.
Not sure what's better, that or when Stan almost pulled 3:48 2 years ago.
Very, very iconic, very similar moment. Lamborghini playing in the background.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the 2020 Auckland Powerlifting live stream. We have cleaning up and prize giving to do, and you have dinner to cook.
Thanks for having me.
Enjoy your Sunday evening.
It was a blast.
Make sure you check out our sponsors, Loaded Lifting, exclusive suppliers of A7. Use code NSBB for 10% off. Raise Lower, exclusive suppliers of SBD lifting kit. Use Jack10 discount code for 5% off. And Musashi Sports Supplements, tested supplements for tested lifters. I think there are a few lifters getting tested right now, so hopefully they've been having their Musashi supplements. All right, we out.
Alright, test them out. Good stuff, guys.
Good stuff.